So you have a quorum.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening. You Secretary Fund?
Here's Eleanor for tonight.
The president of the you gonna do the, all of our presidents?
If you want me to do the roll call, I will do the roll call. Mr. Bazell, your secretary's not here yet, Ms. Howard, so the board is requesting that I would just do the roll call, if that's okay with you?
That would be great.
Okay?
All right. Okay, so we'll start. The Board of Education would like to start a special meeting on January 29th at 2016 at 7:02 p.m. Madam Secretary, stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Member Casali? Member Davenport?
Present.
Member Jones?
Present.
Member Green?
Present.
Secretary Howard? Vice President Campbell Pruitt? And President, Mr. Philip Bazell.
President. We'd like to first open up with the first agenda, the agenda item concerning the relationship with village across village. Anyone have any comments?
Audience for agenda items.
So
only.
you're calling for the audience, this is audience for agenda items only is how it's listed on the agenda, followed by discussion of the district's relationship. So you're calling for the audience,
That's okay.
okay?
There's no there?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And we have one person standing right now. Ms. Williams, would you state your name? Ms. Williams. Would you state your name?
Rosie Williams, for the record. Based on the agenda, I'm not exactly sure kind of what it all entails, but I know that there was a school board meeting on Monday, and I was not able to attend. So I wanted to kind of come here today and see, specifically as it relates to Student Government Day, kind of just let you guys know that we are looking for some answers and some guidance. I received an email about a week back regarding a conference call, and there was another trustee on the email and 2 school board members. And there was a conference call that was proposed at a scheduled time and date, and then due to miscommunication through the email, I was not present on the conference call at the apparent proposed date and time. And when I called in the next day, which is when I thought it was, I was on the phone for 20 minutes and nobody came on the phone. And then I contacted Ms. Margaret Cameron Pruitt to see kind of what happened. And that's when I was informed of the miscommunication. But she did tell me at that time that there was some suggestions and some ideas that were put together. And that I said at that time that the village clerk would be at the school board meeting and that she would be able to fill me in as a committee member. And from what I understand with the village clerk, she didn't receive any documents. And then on Tuesday, I know that 3 school board members were there. And there was attempted a communication, which did not happen. And I don't know if at that time that was going to be discussed or presented, but that didn't happen. And then my intention was to contact Ms. Marva Campbell Pruitt after the meeting, and then due to events at the board meeting, that didn't happen. So then at that point, I reached out through email again, asking for the suggestions or what was going on, and I still haven't received anything, and Student Government Day is close. So I'm just here to kind of figure out what's going on, how do we move on from here, and to see if I can get a copy of the suggested ideas that were presented.
President Brazil, would you like to respond?
We'll let the discussion take place.
We're taking comments. Okay. He said that we'll just go ahead with the discussions.
Okay, so this will be explained and answered during
We're
that
gonna
time?
engage the audience at the time that they speak, but we're gonna have a chance to talk, so some of that'll come up.
Okay.
Yes, the discussion will take place, so it was probably answering most of your questions.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? State your name, and for the record, may I state that we have each person that communicates a 3 minutes in which to communicate.
Thank you, but I didn't notice that on your agenda, so I didn't think there was a time limit on this because it's not on your agenda. But I just wanted to say, first of all, that I apologize for the behavior on Monday. Deborah Williams, village clerk. I do apologize because I firmly believe that nothing positive comes out of negative behavior. However, I was not prepared for what I walked into on Monday night. With my daughter in the emergency room, I was very upset already before I walked in here. I don't know where the hostility came between this board and our board, but I understand there were some statements made at the Intergovernmental Relations Committee from Sauk Village. I'm not a part of that committee, and I did not attend that meeting. So I still don't know where it came from. But regardless of that, I just wanted to say, I'm sorry for my behavior on Monday. But when I walked in here and I saw the hostility, particularly your board member, Kasali, mentioning ISIS and bombing the village, it kind of set me off. And I do apologize for that because I believe what Marva said, that we need to manage adult conflict. We are the adults, that we need to be adult in this situation, and we should be able to manage adult conflict. So we can lead by example. So I really firmly do believe that. I believe that we're all very strong individuals, but I think together we're just that much more strong. And I would like to see the village and the school board continue to work together on not just Student Government Day and not just the sticker program, but on everything that we choose to do, leaving our personal and political sides aside and work together, because that's always been our desire. So I would like to see that continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes.
Pat Couch. I was just wanting to make a comment that I hope that the Student Government Day can continue. I only participated on the last one, more so than I have before. And I have no children in this district. I have no grandchildren in this district. But to see those children's faces the day that they did the Student Government Day was priceless. And to see that they can participate in some kind of a function between the village and the school board and to try to let their inner self out it's heartwarming. And I'm just hoping that you continue with that because these children need guidance, more so now than ever, with all the problems that the young children are facing, with the problems that they may have at home. This lets them out, lets them get involved. And they need that guidance, they need that participation. And I would just hope that this would continue as a project down the road. I know it's been an ongoing thing in the village for many years, and I would hate to see it stop for this kind of a reason. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more questions?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Talia Turner. When I went to Rickover, I did participate in the student government. And honestly, when I was a little kid, the government in Sauk Village to me, like, I thought you guys were like famous. Like, I mean, you know, because I was so young. And like, when I got to actually go up there and be around those type of people, I felt like I could actually do something like in the future, you know? And that day, I think I went home and I told my siblings, you know, it was something I really enjoyed. And it's like, I want my little sister to be able to do it. I'm sorry, I sound like a little cry. But it's just something I really want my other siblings to be able to do. Because when I went to Rickover, I felt like we didn't really have as many opportunities as maybe some other schools did. And this really gave me something that I'm like, we can really do something to Rickover, even though it feels like we can't. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Yes.
My name is Heidi Parker. I used to have a child in this district. I no longer do, but I know it's a long-standing tradition, and I feel it's really for the benefit of the students that get selected, and it's an honor to serve those students, and I think it should be continued.
Any other comment? Hearing none.
Okay, hearing none, you're open to discussion
Davenport has her hand raised.
Ms. Davenport?
Yes, I'm not quite ready to speak on my behalf yet, but I have a message that I was supposed to give because our town is small and the way everything went so haywire, children are on Facebook, our youth in the community, our youth in the schools are on Facebook. So I have a message to let everyone know that you all, make sure I get it right, that you all need to understand that they're just children. They're doing their best and they're trying. But to talk about them and to talk about their low scores and what they're doing, you should understand that everybody don't learn as fast and at the same time. Some people learn slow, and some people may not be good test takers, but they may be able to do that other work. So stop talking about the students, because they're at least trying. And if a teacher helped them, that's because they really do need the help. Just give them a chance, and they're trying. That was on behalf of students.
Thank you.
Mr. Casale gets his hand up.
Mr. Casale?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I was stuck in the traffic. That is why I'm a few minutes late. But the subject about the student government came up because of the things that happened last week. And what happened was a couple of groups of Sauk Village people wrote a letter of no confidence to the mayor and the trustees. And Jima Kasali is the one that notarized those petitions. And after I left the meeting, people, I don't know who and who, started all this chaos, put Sauk Village children on the website and started insulting. I've been here, next month or so will be 8 years that I've been on this board. I don't get paid a dime to be here to serve the people of Sauk Village. And the insult that I got, we are not saying no more student government. The student government is not going to be at the village hall anymore. This is another government. This is another part of government in Sauk Village. There's three: the library, the village hall, and the Board of Education. So we want the student government to be here because there's so much going on in the village hall that we don't think the children should be part of right now. I was on his Facebook, a lot of things about Sauk Village. For instance, Sauk Village trustee indicted a Will County grand jury had handed down an indictment today against Sauk Village Treasurer James Gregg. He admitted to the Steger police that he had 2 bags of heroin. And it's public record. This can be said. It's public record. We can say this. Public record can be said anywhere. This is out in the public. So that is one of the reasons why I think that we should have student government here. If things improve in the village hall, then maybe we have them be part of that. We're not saying not. We can teach them.
Mr. Casale, can you hold your thought one moment, please? President Brazil?
Yes.
I appreciate your being on the
topic. I'm not saying that what you're discussing is incorrect. I just want to stay on to what we're trying to achieve here, the relationship between us and the village, and what direction we want to take. Okay? Thank you, sir.
Mr. Brazil, would you like me to continue facilitating the meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, board members, I see you. Give me 1 minute. As President Brazil just stated, we are here to specifically discuss item number 5 on the agenda, which is the discussion of District 168's relationship with the village of Sauk Village. Items, occurrences that's taking place, throughout the village or that's impacting the village, at this point, I'm going to ask that we refrain from having that discussion and let's stick to the topic at hand.
So explain a little further what you mean by that. Isn't this part of it?
Not talking about the letter of no confidence and not talking about what has happened to the treasurer. No, that's not why we are here.
Okay, explain on your own words what you mean. What are we here for? What are we
We are
talking
here
about?
to discuss District 168's relationship with the village of Sauk Village, not to 98, let me take that back, not to discuss matters that's pertaining specifically to them, that's their business. If it's related to the school and the district, we will have that discussion.
Is student government part of this or not?
Student government, it's definitely a part of that, but the treasurer is not. Okay?
Okay, we can back up on that. Talking about student government,
Thank
okay?
you.
Student government, like I stated, we're not saying it's not gonna happen. We want it to happen here. We will. There's nothing that they're doing for the students over there at Sauk Village Hall that we cannot do here. All they're doing is shadow the trustees and the mayor, they can shadow us as well. So that's all I'm saying. So with all the things that we know that is going on, this is not the right time for our children, because I have 4 children in the district. My oldest one went through the district, now she's doing a master's in public administration. That is to help manage any village where she get a job at. My children, one of them is president of National Junior Honor Society. The other one is vice president. And the 2 that are 9 years old, they are straight A students. And for me to read in on the website that these children, they've been helped by teachers writing their essays for them, when I know how much time I put in to help them with their homework, and how much I'm serving Sauk Village. Before I came on the school board, I was part of so many committees. I don't want to spend all the time. I volunteer for a whole, since I've been living here 1995. I've
The school board relationship with the village of Sauk Village is what we're talking about right now.
That is part of the relationship with Sauk Village. With somebody in Sauk Village put this information on the website, insulting all the administrators here, the people that's volunteered here for more than 8 years, didn't get paid for doing what they do. I've been over there in the village hall before and asked the trustees to not get paid like we are not getting paid, because the budget is very tight. No one will take us on that. So, like right now, the other day, when we had a meeting on Monday, I'm still upset with whoever it is that put that information out there. That is part of the relationship we have with the village. So it's not, we're in this together. So how is it, but to me, this is not the right time to continue the student government over there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that part, that contribution to the discussion. I'm going to refer to Member Howard, because you've spoken on the topic, but we will come back, okay? Ms. Howard.
Mine is just one comment, and I would just appreciate, Mr. Casali, if you wouldn't say "we" when you're referring to, we think we should have it here, because you're speaking for all of us, and you should only speak for yourself.
Okay, I take that back. I'm speaking for Jimo Kasali and family.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Ms. Davenport?
Thank you. Okay, this is my discussion. I gave you all what some students asked. I've been pondering over the district's relationship. It is now, at this point, it is tainted at this point. the issue I have is not so much as whether it's true or not, but to make derogatory statements and privately if you had an issue, or even to make derogatory statements about our students and our staff in an open forum. I think the manner of which that happened is the issue that I take, because I feel like we didn't get a chance to look into the issue, to correct the issue, if the scores are low or if the grammar is so wrong and how their paperwork, the teachers are helping. So that's what I take major issue with, is that the way it occurred. And yes, we're gonna always, our district, whether it's something that is said about us is true or not, we're strong enough and we're confident enough to look at it and say, are we really doing that? Check it out. If it needs to be corrected, we correct it. If it's not, we leave it as is. When it comes to teachers helping students, when I help somebody, I love journalism and I love to write. When I help a student with an essay, guess what? I'm gonna pour into them and impart to them what I know. So if one student is working with me, I'm gonna pour into them what I know. Now here come another student, I'm gonna pour into. So it may seem similar, but that doesn't mean that the teacher wrote it for them. And I think that, and at this time, with the way things have gone, and with me had not seen any type of resolution or remorse when we made it clear that when our board president made it clear that we had an issue, which is why we came to the board meeting to try to communicate and say, hey, we were disappointed by this, and to see where the responses and where we would go, and we were not accepted well, which makes me also take issue. I have asked on several occasions, can we do some student government here, but that didn't mean I wanted to take away from the village. But now my new issue is the way things are flowing and the things that I am seeing, and when I don't even like to go to meetings, is I take issue with, and even though the apology came tonight, that was something I was dealing with. I take issue with sending our children over there. What are we going to teach them over there with all the issues? And I don't want to go into detail and degrade what the issues I would like to say for the village, but they know their issues. And some of those are public. I take issue with sending our children into that. I take issue in sending our children into the hands of someone who can get so angry so quick and then curse us on our own school grounds and storm out. Yes, she did apologize today, and I'm so grateful for that. But at this point, I don't feel that this is the year. I think right now, until some resolutions, even if we rekindle, I don't think this is the year that we should continue it. I think we should try to let some things get going over there, because the children need to see stuff done right. The children need to see their boards meeting. The children need to see that when bills are paid, it's not one person deciding who's going to pay, but that how the whole process works, and they're going to miss that. And I don't want them to miss that opportunity. So I'm not saying to do away with it completely. I'm just saying at this time, until things can get healed and better, a little bit better, at least a little, that I'm just saying that we can just, maybe we may have to miss this one.
Thank you, Ms. Davenport. I'm calling for Ms. Stokes.
Thank you very much. Well, here's my opinion. I am a fan of Student Government Day. I am a fan of anything that allows a child to explore who they are and where they want to go. My personal opinion with student government not too far away is that we hold off. And I say that because the things that were said, we do need to look into. And it appears that Student Government Day has gone on without supervision from the district, meaning there's no guidelines, there's no input from the district. And those are our babies as well as the villages, but they're our main responsibility. And if we're gonna send them somewhere, they should be well prepared for the task at hand. And we've had no input into how Student Government Day has been ran, the rubric for which they are graded by. And personally, I have been attending the Village Hall meetings, and I am uncomfortable. If I had an 8th grade child this year, they would not be writing a paper. They would not be participating, because the things that go on in that Village Hall, the behavior of our trustees, and I know as a trustee and a board member, we have to have thick skin, because people are gonna talk about us, they're gonna not like what we do, but as trustees and board members, we have to be able to save face and show a united front. our board sitting here, we are not buddies. But we handle our business and we handle it with respect. And that's what I expect from the village hall. So no, I am not in favor of sending those babies over there at this present time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else have a comment to make? Give me 1 minute, please. Anyone else have any discussion? Mr. Brazil? Okay, that's fine. Mrs. Green, do you have any comment?
Well, I'd just like to say that we didn't have any problem or any discussion all of this time when the kids were having the government day over there. So I don't know what happened between all the other years and the present time. I don't know what happened. But at this point, I don't feel like we should deny the children. I feel like whatever differences, whatever we need to do, it's not gonna take forever to do that. We need to come up with a solution and still let the children have their day. It's not their fault, and I feel like they should not be denied to do something like that. Now, where we're gonna have it at, I guess we could have that discussion.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Casali?
I would just like to say for the record, since student government has started, I am one of their supporters. I've been writing checks from my company to support them. You don't have to
Mr.
take my
Casali,
word for it.
May I interrupt you just a half a second and ask that you address the board, not the participants?
You can
We
hear
are-
me if
I
you want
know,
me
but-
to use the loudspeaker.
We are communicating.
I do not have to face you. People are here to see us or hear what we have to say. I don't have to, you don't have to wink at me and all that kind of stuff. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in what the people are here to hear. They have to know. I've been a supporter of student government from day one. Okay, I have 2 8th graders. Without a doubt, they're not going to participate. You cannot know that the environment where the kids are going is not right. And you want to put them there and say, oh, whatever it is. Yes, what's happening in the past is happening in the past. We're not going to go there. We're talking about now. If you are my friend, fine. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make sure that we protect the children. We make sure that things are right. If things are wrong, how are you going to send them in that environment and say, hey, look, okay, we're going to fix it, we're going to talk about it. There's so many things going on over there. You don't want me to start mentioning all the things that is going on in Sauk Village and all that kind of stuff as to this and that. Everybody knows, whoever it is that's been going to the meeting, majority of the people here, they've seen me at the meeting, I've seen them at the meeting, they know what is going on. My question to you, Madam Vice President, and President is listening, what are we here for? Are we here to take a vote on what we are doing? We're going to salvage relationship with the village hall or what?
Agenda number
Because you
5.
don't put a vote on here or anything like that.
Agenda 5 says a discussion of District 168's relationship with the village of Sauk Village. So at this point, we are ascertaining your opinion.
That's
your
right.
Viewpoint. So
You
that's
will
the
be there tonight?
discussion. No, that's the discussion
Okay.
component. So
Okay,
that's what
that's all
we're
it
doing
is.
at this point.
Okay.
Ms. Howard, do you have anything else that you would want to say?
So is there any way that we can, have the district be more a part of it if we have it this time?
I mean, we certainly can. I mean, tonight, even though it's not an action item, right now, Student Government Day is not a business item for the board. It is an activity that the district participates in. And if the board directs the district to participate with more oversight, we will. If the board directs the district to not participate, we won't. If the board directs the district to participate the way we have, we basically will follow the directive. We are following the previous directives of the board, which is to participate the way we've always participated. So right now, this discussion amongst the board will dictate whether or not you want to direct us to do something different. Or to leave it the same.
If I could ask, entertain their question. The reason that we're here to do the discussion is to basically give what Dr. Lee just stated, direction as to how to proceed with Student Government Day and or any other activities that we might participate with the village. So that's what we mean by the relationship. We do not want to vote on a particular item that would cause us to have to vote on it every year. But we can give her a directive as to participate or not to participate. So we will discuss it, and then we'll take a consensus, and then we will direct her to either participate as usual, participate with less revisions and more direction, or with protocol and procedures in place, or to not participate at all. So those are the things that I'm saying. Also, we can ask her to participate, but not participate on other activities that we will choose this evening. So it's about the relationship in its entirety, not in part.
Ms. Howard?
For one of the options, are we allowed to leave it up to her to make that decision?
No.
No. Well, yeah, I'm sure, but if you don't give
I
direction.
think that Mr. Bazil was very adamant that he wanted to come from the board in terms of what, so that it wasn't the superintendent, it was the board's directive.
Yes.
That's why I'm here. I was speeding 70, 80 miles an hour today.
Okay, thank you, and we're glad you made it here safely.
So have anyone even made some suggestions from both sides? What we could do together?
We've
Have we had those discussions?
We drafted a letter that you received on Monday. That was to go to, go ahead, I'm sorry. That was to go to Village Hall concerning items, suggestions that we had that would brighten the opportunities for our youngsters when they participated. I heard someone mention the rubric. That was one thing that we asked for. We asked also for specific deadlines and timelines on what we would do. Now, I've not had an opportunity to express my feelings where the discussion is concerned, and I have given it thought, and I am chairperson of our intergovernmental committee, and what I would like to see going forward is that the intergovernmental committee for this entity and the intergovernmental committee for the municipality continue to work together and explore not just this activity, not just the sticker activity, but many other things that we can do as partners as we provide services for our youth here in the village. And not just the ones that are with District 168, but those that are out of the other school district that reside in Deer Creek as well. Because they're all Sauk Village children. And we need to provide things for them. I think that the Parks and Recs that the municipality has can really go a long way in supporting our youth in after-school type activities, weekend activities. So I would like to see and devise an overall plan of action and to engage in such activity on an annual basis. Just, I believe in strategic planning all the way around. And just, you know, to throw this together and throw that together, that's not my mode of operation. And I think that it would really behoove us to be very proactive as we look at what we're going to do from this day forward.
Excuse me, Madam Vice.
I don't know which one.
She's first. She's first. Even if she's not, I yield to her.
Thank you, Mr. Casale. One of the things that occurred, once it was made public of the different comments that were made negatively regarding our children and the district, we, Vice President, actually put together a conference call
so that we can have some type of discussion and see where we want to go before last Friday, so we would be ready for board meeting. So what was prepared was a letter to present, that President Brazil would present on Tuesday, so some of us went on Tuesday with him to present and speak to the mayor and the board of where we stand with the issue. And then we also have prepared a draft of the things and ideas of changes and ways we can try to come together. But we were not successful in being able to execute that, Mr. Brazil, so that's when this meeting was called, because we weren't, so we still have not had communication, positive communication yet with the municipality. Mr. Brazil was heading that up.
So are we discussing Government Day? Are we discussing two different things tonight? The Government Day, making a decision on the Government Day, if we're gonna participate or not participate, or are we talking about the future of our relationship with the Sauk?
Yeah. We're talking about.
Right. So we're talking about both of them tonight?
Yes.
Okay. Discussing. Mr. Casali?
Well, I know that some people here on this table will not want to rub other people the wrong way. I'm not afraid of that. I am here to say and do what is right. I am not running for city clerk. I am not ambitious about my re-election is coming up. If the people of Sauk Village want me to be here to be their voice, that is fine. If they say, no, Jima, you can fly to Florida and enjoy the sunshine and spend your time somewhere else, that is fine with me too. So what we have to face, the three of us here, we have children in the district. That is why I am so sensitive about my 4 children that is in the district and people are putting down. I cannot see something like this, 40 things that the people of Sauk Village, 652 people signed the petition. I am a notary. If you come to me, all I have to do is identify who you are and witness your signature. The person that circulates the petition is who I notarize their signature, and that's it. Okay? People died before us fighting for our rights. 4 people over here don't have no children in the district, so they don't care. So they want this to go on. What we have to say, they don't. Do they have children in the district? Do they have children in the district? Yes or no? They do not. I just said what is right.
Right, so let's get a consensus.
Mr. Casali, I'm going to ask if you stick to the agenda items only. Mr. Brazil,
When you talk about my children or do something, I'm going to be feeling.
what is your preference at this point? I'm sorry.
We had a meeting last Friday to help discuss the things that were going on with Student Government Day. We tried to create some solutions, some ideas, a protocol to proceed going forward. However, there was no representation from the village there. I understand that the members of the village have said that there was some behaving in such a manner, I'm not necessarily feeling at ease to have them learn of those individuals. Because exactly what are they learning? I would like our children to go into a safe, productive, and viable environment where they can learn positive things, they can have positive outcomes. So far, the experiences that I've had so far were all negative. And one, to show children in a public forum is definitely conduct unbecoming of a government entity or a government official. I don't want my children to learn that. That's what student government did. If they were to shadow individuals this past week or last week, they would not have learned positive things. I understand this is an election year, and more possibilities are going to rise. More comments will be made. More emotions are still going to run high for the next 2 months. I have no idea what to expect from the individuals that they're going to shadow, mimic, and be around. I do not want our children to sit in an audience or sit next to an individual who is not going to conduct themselves in the proper manner and give them an example of what they should behave like. I'm all for leading by example. When I went up there and was denied, I didn't erupt into a tantrum. I didn't disrespect their policies or procedures. But I do know that the relationship that, or the respect that I had for the village has been shattered. So I don't necessarily feel like I would like my children to go there and participate in that activity at this time. It's not because I don't trust the people who are overseeing this activity. It's because of the environment that our children are going to be in. And even if they say, oh, no, we're not going to act like this, you don't know. Day to day, no one here knows how they're going to behave, what they're going to say, or why they're going to say it. I don't want my children to be part of that. No, I don't have any children at the district now, but my child did go through from pre-K, from lots of programs, all the way to graduating out of 8th grade from that school. So when they expose the teachers, the administration, the staff, our ethics, our curriculum, I think that personally, not just because I'm on the board, but because I think my child had a really good education from this school district. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst.
Thank you, Mr. Brazil. And I'm really in agreement with what you just stated. And I do believe in teachable moments. And I know that what I witnessed at the last board meeting, if our students were there, it would have been absolutely atrocious, because toward the end, at the end of the meeting, some of the adults almost got into a fight. And that is not what we would want to share with our students. That is not conflict resolution. You know, and right now we are in a conflict situation. And so it is very, very important that we mirror how we would want our youth to behave. But to have to hold adults back from one another and to have the police be called in, that's not an environment that we would want to see our youngsters in. So this is just a discussion, I know, and we're not calling for a vote. I'm still giving my viewpoint. I think that with tensions being as high as they are at this point, I think that we need to step back from participating in Student Government Day this year and allow temperatures tempers rather, to cool over on the other side, and then to utilize this period of time to develop that strategic plan that I was talking about a little earlier. Now, that's just, that's my vision.
I totally agree with that, the Vice President said, that's exactly what I was headed for. I would like to see, a step back.
I'm sorry, may I interrupt you for a half a second, Mr. President, and ask you to speak a little louder?
Oh, okay.
People are not being able to hear you.
Oh, I apologize. I'm asking that we step back, like we're saying, this year, from Student Government Day with the village of Sauk Village. The reason is because we have no idea what's going to erupt at the village. But in that time, I would like to have productive meetings with the people who are responsible for Student Government Day so that we can create some guidelines, some procedures, and a rubric for our students to follow, and on a timeline as well, so that in the future, next year, hopefully, not going to be an election year, that we can have some positive.
It is an election year.
This government. So that's my opinion right now. So I would like to, right now, kind of get a consensus from the board. Most of all of the spoken, I would like to get a consensus of what direction would you like for the superintendent to take as far as Student Government Day this year. My vote right now is to sit back.
It's not a vote.
No vote.
No comment.
To create a plan.
I agree, Sharon Davenport.
Dumont Casale is in agreement. We suspend this for now.
I stand with the board president and vice president that we hold for this year.
I think it's a good idea, because it's important that our children do see the right examples. And that's important.
That's 6. Ms. Howard, any comment?
No comment, from Mrs. Howard. You have mine.
Excuse me, Mr. President and Vice President, I do have one question. Now that we do have the consensus and we did prepare a semi-guideline of what we would like to work with the municipality, and hopefully the powers that be who are responsible for that are in the audience, so they've heard the conversation. And so, because we're directing our superintendent that we'll step back, are we also directing her to set up, or is intergovernmental going to take this over to get with the student government committee for the municipality to see where we'll go from there?
May I respond?
Right now, what is already spoken, the directive for the superintendent here to inform the staff and the students that we are not participating in Student Government Day this year. We are also going to leave it up to the good to interact with the other municipalities to give some guidelines, direction, and create a plan for our future government day.
With the exception that it would not just be with the entity planning Student Government Day, it would be with their interagency or intergovernmental committee, and then just work it that way.
Okay, so all would be involved?
All
the
sides.
All the groups?
Yes. So those groups will be the Sauk Village, board members that are involved in the Student Day program,
It would be those.
as well as the board, you.
Exactly.
Yeah, the
Yes.
intergovernmentals.
And then we can also look at, as we're planning this, we could also look at how to bring our library board involved with it. Just, as we look at a plan for all of us that has any interaction with our students, so let's just bring it all together. Here's an opportunity. We have a whole year to work this plan and just
lay it out.
And do
Okay.
what's best for our students, which is
Exactly.
top priority.
Exactly.
Madam Prime President, I
Yes.
think that the mission we came here for tonight is accomplished. This meeting should be adjourned so that dinner doesn't get cold, all these people can go home.
Okay, give me,
All those, we have
Mr.
a whole
Casale.
year to
Okay,
go to
Mr.
the next
Casale.
step. This is done.
Mr.
Let's go
Casale,
home.
Mr. Casale,
Yes.
you know, you can step out at any moment that you desire.
No, I'm here for this.
Give me
You
an
can talk for as
opportunity.
long as you want, but you can shut me up anytime you want. I have the respect for the people
Casale.
here, that's why I kept
Mrs.
quiet.
Jones, you're saying what?
Okay, thank you. Vice Chair, my question or concern is,
Audience, please.
I guess my concern is, I so appreciate intergovernmental, taking on this responsibility to work with the municipality. I would just ask that our entity, please make sure you encompass our principal, because we need buy-in from our teachers as well. I'm pretty sure they feel, a tad bit affected by the comments that were made, and we need buy-in from them as well.
Exactly.
So making sure that they are comfortable with the rubric that's been given, since they'll be the ones actually working with our students.
Very good point, thank you very much. Any other discussion at this moment?
Just to let everyone know that because the municipality may not know who's on intergovernmental, so you're the chair, I'm the, my Vice President Pruitt is the vice president, but she's the chair of the intergovernmental, and I'm the co-chair. So it would be the two of us working alongside the principal to work with public relations as they do
And their
their
intergovernmental.
intergovernmental section of it. So.
Thank you for that.
I had my hand up before Mrs.
I said,
Kim.
Mr. Casale.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I just wanted to say, because from your statement, what you are just alluding to, we have to remember somebody started this, okay? You cannot just go in and hijack their plan. They started this before any of us get on this school board. They started the intergovernment. We know how much effort they put in, how much the newsletters, the calls, they put in their own money to make sure they have good dinners and all that kind of stuff. So I am not going to be here unless somebody else hijack somebody else's plan that they started. So let's keep that in mind.
Most
Because if that happens, I'm going to be fired.
That's fine, thank you. Someone else?
Yeah, my question is, once you all come up with strategic plans, how you're gonna move forward, the board will also be, apprised. Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome. Anything else?
On the last note, Madam Vice President, just, you know, if some other people, some other places, this is not strange for somebody, I'm not throwing no shares at you or anything like that. I have seen trustees at the Sauk Village Hall stand up on their table some years ago. I have the video of a trustee standing up on the table to bully somebody else. So this shouldn't be strange to anybody when Jim Okasali is raising his voice to make sure he's heard.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Anything else,
That's dismissed.
President?
Thank you.
Is there anything else from you?
No,
May
that's
I
it.
ask for a motion?
Forward, the different things that we participate with the other municipalities, especially those guidelines. So, like, in chapter, if it was presented to the board.
We can't hear what he's saying.
Their guidelines, and timelines.
He's talking about the timeline.
Let's end the meeting. It's over.
Okay, I'll repeat. He's asking for intergovernmental for the school district. Once we meet, if it's agreed that we can collaborate and partner, that we provide ongoing reports, timelines, and everything to this board.
Well, you can't go on the phone for that.
Okay? May I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Second.
adjourned at 7:56 p.m.